The latest installment of Temple B'nai Shalom's 92Y Live series featured a simulcast with Nobel laureate Elie Wiesel and Obama administration advisor David Axelrod. Let's listen in.
Possibility that has so characterized the spirit of our country. And I think that's something the President spends a lot of time thinking about, even as he thinks about the kind of fundamental things we have to do to get the economy moving again. And then the second thing I am concerned about, and I know that you have spoken and written a lot about this, is the sense of divisiveness that I sense in our politics, and that we see playing out on our TV screens and in our communities. And you know, that is, I think, and I'm probably leading into my question of you, but it seems to me that that is an outgrowth or a function to some degree of difficult economic times. I think it lends itself to that kind of thing we've seen in our history and in the history of other countries, sometimes in tragic ways. What happens when there is a sense of economic distress and how it divides people?
In this campaign, it's not new. Only the last campaigns had all kinds of false stones. But this time, when there are here more than 20 million people who listen to certain political commentators, so to speak, the way the extreme, the way the language they use, my God, when they compare, some of them compare President Obama to Hitler. How far really can indecency go? I understand controversy. I understand diversity. I understand even adversity. Of course, there are political adversaries. But there is hatred. Why such hatred? So if I said actually last night to my fellow laureates, what worries me, what pains me is fanaticism. I've been warning already for years and years against the growth of fanaticism. Because fanaticism, I said then, to a fanatic is something like to a blind man. To a blind man, God is blind. To a fanatic who worships hatred and death, as suicide terrorists do, God is a God of hatred and death. And in this campaign there is already a new political fanaticism, which I believe is dangerous and unworthy of whatever is noble in the American tradition.
But there's no question that there's going to be a more closely divided Congress, more Republicans and Democrats. We've seen for the last 20 months an unwillingness to compromise, egged on by the kind of discourse that you're talking about. The big test after November is whether people are going to accept a sense of responsibility on both sides to move the country forward, and you know, we're eager to do that. But the environment is working against that, and that's a big concern. Tolerance. They knew that that was part of our tradition. It doesn't feel like people are as tolerant right now, and I'm interested to know what your thoughts are on that.
I'm afraid that fanaticism is like a black plague. It's contagious. And if I'm so worried, is that it's growing in many, many quarters, not only in one religion. And what to do about it? Of course, as a Jew, I'd be saying it and repeating it. I do not believe that we Jews are better than others, nor are we inferior. I simply believe that as Jews, we can attain universality. I don't think I have to give up my Jewishness in order to preach and educate that universality. But I say the Christian, the Buddhist, the Muslim they have the same right and duty perhaps to say that.